WWE absolutely robbed us at Elimination Chamber 2022, and I'm still not over it. 4 years later, this match had everything it needed to be an all-time classic: a stacked lineup, incredible stakes, a red-hot crowd in Saudi Arabia, and the potential for multiple dream scenarios. Instead, what we got was one of the most frustrating booking decisions in recent WWE history that left fans feeling cheated, confused, and wondering what could have been. If you were one of the people screaming at your screen during this match, you're not alone, and we need to talk about why this Elimination Chamber will go down as one of the biggest missed opportunities in WWE's modern era. Before we break down every painful moment of this match, I need to know, were you happy with how this Elimination Chamber ended, or did you feel like WWE completely dropped the ball? Drop your honest answer in the comments, because I guarantee this is going to spark some heated debates. Let me set the stage for you, because context is crucial to understanding why this match was both brilliant and infuriating at the same time. The 19th of February 2022, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the WWE Championship was on the line inside the most unforgiving structure in sports entertainment. 6 men entered the chamber: the defending champion Bobby Lashley, former champions AJ Styles and Riddle, the rising star Austin Theory, the powerhouse Seth Rollins, and the returning Brock Lesnar, who had earned his spot by winning the Royal Rumble. Wait, scratch that. Brock Lesnar wasn't originally in this match, and that's where the controversy begins. The original lineup was supposed to be Bobby Lashley defending against AJ Styles, Riddle, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and who was the 6th man? Anyone remember? Drop it in the comments if you know. Here's what makes this whole situation absolutely maddening: the build to this match was actually good. Bobby Lashley had been an absolute monster as WWE Champion, decimating everyone in his path. He looked unstoppable, unbeatable, and was finally getting the respect and push he deserved after years of being underutilized. The Elimination Chamber seemed like the perfect stage for Lashley to cement his legacy by surviving 5 other top-tier competitors. But then, in typical WWE fashion, they couldn't help themselves. They had to complicate things. They had to inject chaos into what was already a perfectly good storyline. And that chaos came in the form of Brock Lesnar losing the WWE Championship to Bobby Lashley on the Raw before Elimination Chamber after interference from Roman Reigns. Now, don't get me wrong, that title change was spectacular. The crowd went absolutely nuclear. Lashley finally got his big moment. It felt earned, it felt right, and it felt like the beginning of something special. But here's where WWE's booking philosophy becomes absolutely baffling. They gave us that incredible moment, let us celebrate it for literally 5 days, and then took it all away in the most deflating way possible. Question for the longtime fans: how many days was Bobby Lashley's second WWE Championship reign? First correct answer gets a shout out. Let's talk about the match itself, because despite all the booking nonsense, the work was phenomenal. The match started with Riddle and AJ Styles, 2 of the best in-ring performers in the world, and they immediately set the tone with crisp, innovative offense. These 2 have chemistry that's off the charts, and watching them navigate the chamber structure while incorporating their unique styles was a masterclass in professional wrestling. Then Seth Rollins entered, and the dynamic completely changed. Rollins in 2022 was absolutely unhinged in the best way possible. His character work was phenomenal, his ring gear was outrageous, and his in-ring psychology was top tier. The way he calculated every move, used the chamber structure as a weapon, and played mind games with his opponents, this was Seth Rollins at his absolute peak. Austin Theory came in next, and even though he was clearly positioned as the underdog in this match, the kid showed out. Theory was taking bumps that had no business being taken, throwing himself into the chamber walls, and proving that he belonged in this main event picture. Say what you want about Austin Theory's booking over the years, but in this match, he earned his spot. Here's a trivia question: how many eliminations did Austin Theory get in this chamber match? Drop your guess below. Then we got Bobby Lashley, the WWE Champion, entering his pod looking like an absolute beast. The pop when his pod opened was massive. The crowd was ready to see Lashley run through everyone, assert his dominance, and prove that his championship win wasn't a fluke. Everything was building perfectly toward Lashley standing tall at the end. And then, Brock Lesnar's music hit. Now, in any other circumstance, Brock Lesnar's surprise entrance would be hype. The Beast incarnate showing up unannounced is usually a recipe for an incredible moment. But in this match, at this time, with this build, it felt like a punch in the gut. Because we all knew exactly what was about to happen. We knew WWE couldn't resist putting the title back on their golden boy. We knew Bobby Lashley's reign was about to be cut criminally short. The look on Lashley's face when Lesnar entered told the whole story. It wasn't the character Bobby Lashley looking concerned, it was the human being Bobby Lashley realizing his moment was about to be stolen. And that's what makes this so frustrating. Let me ask you this, do you think Brock Lesnar needed to win this match? Could his storyline with Roman Reigns have worked just as well without the WWE Championship? Sound off below. What happened next was predictable and painful. Brock Lesnar entered the chamber and proceeded to F5 literally everyone. Riddle, F5 through a pod. AJ Styles, F5 onto the steel. Seth Rollins, multiple F5s. Austin Theory obliterated. And Bobby Lashley, the WWE Champion, the man who had just won the title 5 days earlier, the man who deserved a proper reign, F5, 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 pin, new champion. The entire match took 10 minutes and 19 seconds from Lesnar's entrance to the final bell. 10 minutes. Do you know how insulting that is? You have 6 of the best performers in the world, inside the most iconic structure in WWE, with the most prestigious championship on the line, and you turn it into a Brock Lesnar highlight reel that lasts less time than a bathroom break. Here's what really makes me angry about this: every single person in that chamber could have benefited from a longer, more competitive match. Imagine if Seth Rollins had eliminated Bobby Lashley and we got a Rollins vs Lesnar Final 2 showdown. Imagine if AJ Styles had somehow survived and we got the dream match of AJ vs Brock for the WWE Championship. Imagine if Austin Theory pulled off the upset of a lifetime and became the youngest WWE Champion in history. Any of those scenarios would have been more interesting than what we got. What's your dream scenario for how this match should have ended? Give me your fantasy booking in the comments. But the worst part, the absolute worst part, is what this did to Bobby Lashley. Here's a guy who had been grinding in WWE for years, who had proven himself time and time again, who had finally reached the mountaintop and won the WWE Championship in a huge moment on Raw, and WWE gave him a 5-day reign. 5 days. That's not even a full week. Do you know how disrespectful that is to a performer of Lashley's caliber? Bobby Lashley deserved better. He deserved a WrestleMania main event as WWE Champion. He deserved a lengthy reign where he could have classic matches with multiple opponents. He deserved to be the guy. Instead, he was a transitional champion used to get the belt from Brock to Brock so that WWE could do their Roman vs Brock unification match at WrestleMania 38. And look, I understand the business. I understand that Roman vs Brock was the money match. I understand that WWE wanted to crown one undisputed champion to simplify their title picture. But did it have to happen this way? Could they not have found a path to that match that didn't involve completely undermining Bobby Lashley's reign and turning the Elimination Chamber into a glorified squash match? Question for the business-minded fans out there: do you think the Roman vs Brock unification match drew more money because both guys were champions, or would it have been just as big with only one title on the line? Let's talk about the actual highlights of this match before Lesnar showed up, because there were some incredible moments. The AJ Styles vs Riddle exchange early on was smooth as butter. AJ hitting the phenomenal forearm off the top of a pod was absolutely spectacular. Seth Rollins stomping Austin Theory's head into the steel grating was brutal and showed the viciousness of the chamber environment. Bobby Lashley hitting a Dominator on Seth Rollins looked like it could have legitimately injured someone. These moments proved that this match had all the ingredients to be special. The talent was there, the environment was there, the stakes were there, but WWE sacrificed all of that potential on the altar of Brock Lesnar needs to look strong. Here's a controversial take I want to throw out there: Brock Lesnar's dominance in this match actually hurt his character more than it helped. When Brock shows up and destroys everyone with no challenge, it doesn't make him look like a beast. It makes the entire roster look weak. It makes us question why we should care about anyone else if they can't even put up a fight against Brock. Dominance is only impressive when it's earned against legitimate competition. This wasn't dominance, this was a video game played on easy mode. Do you agree or disagree with that take? Is Brock Lesnar's booking style good for business, or does it hurt the overall product? This one's going to be divisive, so keep it respectful. Looking back at Elimination Chamber 2022 from our vantage point in 2026, it's even more frustrating because we can see what could have been. Bobby Lashley never got another run with the WWE Championship. Austin Theory's momentum from this period was completely wasted with terrible booking. Seth Rollins eventually got his moment, but imagine if it had started here. AJ Styles has continued to be excellent but has been kept away from the main event scene for years. Riddle had his run with Randy Orton but has since fallen down the card. This match could have been a launching pad for multiple stars. Instead, it was a vehicle to get a belt on Brock Lesnar for a WrestleMania match that, while good, didn't need both world titles to be special. The saddest part is that the crowd in Saudi Arabia was incredible that night. They were hot for everyone. They popped huge for every big spot. They were ready to give WWE a standing ovation for an instant classic, and WWE gave them a 10-minute Brock Lesnar exhibition instead. Final question: where does this Elimination Chamber rank among the biggest booking disappointments in WWE history? Top 5? Top 10? Let me know your ranking. If there's a lesson to be learned from Elimination Chamber 2022, it's this: sometimes the obvious choice isn't the right choice. Sometimes protecting your established stars and giving them proper reigns is more valuable than short-term shock value. Sometimes letting a match breathe and telling a complete story is more important than getting to your predetermined ending as quickly as possible. WWE had lightning in a bottle with Bobby Lashley as WWE Champion in February 2022. They had a stacked Elimination Chamber with multiple possible outcomes that could have created new stars or elevated existing ones. They had a crowd ready to lose their minds for great wrestling. And they threw it all away for a Brock Lesnar coronation that nobody asked for and didn't need to happen the way it did. 4 years later, I'm still frustrated. I'm still thinking about what could have been. And I'm still hoping that WWE learned something from this experience, although evidence suggests they haven't always applied those lessons. If you're as passionate about this match as I am, whether you agree with my take or think I'm completely wrong, I need you to engage with this video. Like it if you felt robbed by this booking. Share it with your wrestling friends who remember watching this live and feeling that same disappointment. And most importantly, flood the comments with your thoughts, your memories, and your fantasy bookings of how this match should have gone. This is Wrestling Zone 1, where we celebrate the great moments in wrestling, but we're not afraid to call out the missed opportunities. Elimination Chamber 2022 was both incredible potential meets frustrating reality. We remember it, we analyze it, and we learn from it. Subscribe for more deep dives into wrestling's most controversial moments, and let's keep this conversation going.